everybody. Good to see you guys. Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for being in here. The few people that are in chat. The show must go on, guys. So we just got to stay positive and hopefully more people will come in. If not, then we're going to keep on talking about Elton John. Hello, hippie grandma. Good to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. And hello, Nani. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing good. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe. All right. Tonight we are talking about Elton John. We're talking about Elton John. Y'all picked him, or y'all voted for him last Monday. And hold on a minute. I can get this up and ready. And so he got the most votes. So that's who we're going to talk about. Hello, Mary. And good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being in here. All right, the life of Elton John. Tonight we're going to be going over the life of Elton John, what he has done in his life so far, what positivity, encouragement, and examples has he brought to the world. Hashtag biography, Elton John, positivity, encouragement, motivation, example, famous person, singer, music, mental health, community, and life. So that is what we're going to cover tonight. I know I love Elton John too. But I figured why not change it up a little bit. From now on, if y'all pick a singer and it's a song that I can find in karaoke style, I'm going to sing a song. It doesn't matter if they're alive or no longer with us. If I can find a song that they sing karaoke, or a song that they've sung and I can find it karaoke, I'm going to sing a song. So, just to lift everybody's spirits for Monday. Yeah, for Monday coming up. But hopefully everybody's is going to have a great one because tomorrow's Labor Day. So, happy early Labor Day, everybody. And I'm going to pull up this song. And then we'll get into the life of Elton John. Okay? Give me just a second. This is one of my favorite songs he sings. I hope I don't mess it up. Yes, I love Elton too. All right, put a 1 in chat if y'all can hear it, okay? Please. Just to get the the story rolling, we might as well just sing one of his songs. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear it, okay? You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. And there's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like red hot behind the mask you use. And if you could think you could ever win, well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm standing, you just fade away. But you know I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're staring down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made will cut me down. And if our love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. You know, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 All right, guys, that was just a little Elton John song to get everybody started. Hello, Miss Joni. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. All right, guys, let's get into it. See where his information is. There it is. All right. Thank you guys so much for being in here. We might be a little group of people, but we still support one another. We're still there for one another, and eventually we'll grow. We'll get there, but it'll take some time. But that's okay. We just got to keep on pushing forward and keep on staying positive, guys, and motivating each other and encouraging each other and being there for one another. All right. All right. He was always famous for his glasses. What's up, LBG? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. All right. Let me make this bigger. I try to make it bigger where y'all can see. All right. I'm not printing nothing. We're talking about Elton John. Elton John is a British singer, pianist, and composer, along with selling more than 3 million records. He has found success on Broadway, composing the music score for the Tony Award-winning hit Billy Elliot. Who is Elton John? He was born in 1947. Elton John's unique blend of pop and rock styles turned him into one of the 20th century's biggest music icon. He was musically gifted from a young age and released his first self-titled American album in 1970, making him a huge international star. Some of his chart-topping hits include Crocodile Rock, Philadelphia, Freedom, and Candle in the Wind. He also found success on Broadway, composing the score for Billy Elliot in 2008. It's my fan. Yeah, hold on. It's my fan. Hold on a minute. I'll fix it. It's all right. It's my fan. I have to turn it on because it's hotter than you know what here. It says, which went on to win 10 Tony Awards. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994 and knighted, so he's Sir Elton John, in 1998. I know you ain't. I'm just saying that's what that racket is. Early life and career into England. Singer, songwriter, composer, and icon Elton John was born Rignall, Kenneth White on March 25th, 1947. So that's his real name, guys. You're good, LBG. No need to say sorry. In Pioneer, Middlesex, England. He discovered his passion for music at an early age and taught himself how to play the piano when he was only 4 years old. Proven to be a great talent, he won a scholarship to a youth program at a Royal Academy of Music in London. John had a difficult relationship with his father, Stanley Dwight, a member of the Royal Air Force. His parents divorced when he was a teenager, and he and his father clashed over his future. John, captivated by the sounds of early rock and roll, wanted to pursue a career in pop music, and much to his father's dismay, John dropped out of school at 17 to follow his dreams. Hello, Riff. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. He started playing with a group called Bluesology, and he cobbled together his stage moniker from the names of two members of the group. In 1967, John answered an ad for a songwriter for Liberty Records. He got the job and soon teamed up with lyricist Bernie Taupin. The duo switched to the DJM label the following year, writing songs for other artists. Thank you so much, Rift. If y'all haven't hit that like, please do so. John got his first break as a singer with his 1969 album Empty Sky, featuring songs by John and Taupin. While that recording failed to catch on, his 1970 self-titled effort featuring John's first hit, Your Song, more hits soon followed, including number one smashes such as Crocodile Rock, Beanie and the Jets, and Island Girls. John enjoyed a series of top-selling albums during this time, including Goodbye Yellow Brick Road 1973 and Rock of Westies 1975. And here is a picture of him. I guess that's in his younger. Okay, this is in 1985. It says Elton John and his long-term songwriter partner, lyricist Bernie Taupin in 1985. Says memorable songs and energetic live performances. One of the top acts of the 1970s, John became equally famous for his live shows. He dressed in fabulous over-the-top costumes and glasses for his elaborate concerts. In an interview with John explained that I wasn't a sex symbol like Bowie, Mark Bolan, or Freddie Mercury, so I dressed more on the humorous side because if I was going to be stuck at the piano for 2 hours, I was going to make people look at me. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. In 1976, John hit the top of the charts again with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, his duet with Kiki D. He soon decided to take a break from music, focusing his energies on his soccer team that he co-owned in England. I didn't know that. Around this time, John also publicly announced that he was bisexual. He later came out as a gay man. At the time, John was ridiculed and taunted for his sexuality. The controversy died down, and he made a triumphant return to music in 1979 with an album, A Single Man. Little Genie, Empty Garden. While not producing smash hits in the 1980s, John still did well on the charts. Some of the most memorable songs from his period include ballads Little Genie and Empty Garden, Hey, Hey, Johnny. The latter written as a tribute to his friend John Lennon of the Beatles, who had been killed in 1980. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I know you guys know that song. We know that riff. We know that riff. I love all his songs. Branching out in different directions, John teamed up with lyricist Tim Rice for several projects. They worked together on the soundtrack for the 1994 animated hit The Lion King, and one of the movie's songs, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, brought John his first Academy Award win for Best Original Song. Their pair laddered and netted a Tony Award for Best Original Score in 2000 for their musical Idea. John received a number of honors around this time. In 1994, he was inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Queen Elizabeth II made John a commander of the Order of the British Empire the following year. The Queen knighted him several years later, making him officially Sir Elton John. Candle in the Wind. While he enjoyed all the recognition and praise, he soon found himself rocked by grief. During the summer of 1997, John lost two good friends, fashion designer Gianni Versace and Princess Diana. He reworked one of his classic songs, Candle in the Wind, as a tribute to Princess Diana, with the song's proceeding going to charitable trust established in her honor. Candle in the Wind 1997 proved to be a tremendous success, selling more than 30 million copies that year. I just like it because he's his own self. He's got his uniqueness and quirkiness. I think he's awesome. Elton John performing at the open air concert in May in 1974 in Watford, England. That's what that picture is. Those are some awesome glasses. Check him glasses out. It's pretty cool. That don't even look like him now. Later albums, books, Broadway, and movie. John continued to record new music later in his extensive career. In 2006, he released The Captain and the Kid, a sequel to his earlier autobiographical effort, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, 1975. He also teamed up with Leon Russell for 2010's The Union, which led to a joint tour. John later released The Diving Board in 2013, his 30th studio album produced by T-Bone Burnett. In February of 2016, John released his 33rd studio album, Wonderful Crazy Night, to generally positive reviews. The album featured the Elton John band, in whom he had last collaborated a decade prior. Billy Elliot, the music, and Rocket Man. Also in demand as a songwriter, John was instrumental in bringing Billy Elliot, the music, to the stage. The show, adapted from the 2000 film, opened on Broadway in 2008, where it quickly became a critical and commercial success. John also worked on the 2011 animated film Romeo and Juliet, serving as a producer and a composer. I don't know where our Rocket Queen is. She might be working. Even with a toned-down stage persona, John remained a very popular live act. In 2012, he performed with Ozzy Osbourne, Eric Clapton, Stevie Wonder, and Paul McCartney, among others, in the celebration of the Queen Elizabeth's 60 years on the throne. It says, at this time, it was revealed that John and his husband were working on a biopic about the legendary musician titled Rocket Man, starring Taron Egerton. The film finally reached the finish line with its premiere in May of 2019, Cannes Films Festival, drawing attention for its whimsical musical scenes as well as unflicking portrayal of John's sexuality. The artist followed with the publication of his autobiography, Me, later that year. In January of 2020, John and Taupin claimed the Best Original Song Golden Globe for Rocket Man's I'm Gonna Love Me Again. Amazingly, it was their first shared award after more than a half a century of creating some of popular music's biggest hits together. The duo then picked up their second joint honor, also for Best Original Song, at the Academy Awards the following month. Farewell Tour. On January 24th, 2018, John announced that he would retire from the road after his planned farewell Yellow Brick Road tour, set to kick off that September. My priorities have changed, he said, citing his desire to spend more time with his husband, David, and their children, or their kids. In 2015, David and I set with a school schedule. I don't want to miss much of this. That year also brought an end to Las Vegas residency, the $1 Million Piano, which wrapped with a May 17th performance at Caesars Palace. Substance abuse issues and Elton John's AIDS Foundation. In 1990, after years of battling with substance abuse issues, particularly cocaine, which may have triggered severe epileptic seizures, John went into rehab. The newly sober musical star, delighted at his second chance at life, soon founded his own charitable organization to help in the fight against AIDS, established in the United States in 1992. The Elton John AIDS Foundation has brought more than $400 million to support HIV/AIDS programs around the world. In addition to his own foundation, John supports a number of different charities and art organizations, including the Globe Theater and the Royal Academy of Music. In March of 2020, John hosted an iHeart Living Room concert for America to raise funds for coronavirus relief efforts. Alicia Keys, Dave Grohl, and Sam Smith were among the artists who performed from their homes for the benefit. Elton John, this is Elton John with his sons. Elton John with his husband, David Furnish, and his sons, Zachary Furnish, John, and Elijah Furnish, John. So that's the little family. Husband and son. Hello, Justice Jane. Good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well, darling. John met his longtime partner, David Furnish, at a dinner party in 1993. The pair got married in a civil ceremony on December 21st, 2005. The same day, the Civil Partnership Act 2004 went into effect. With the help of a surrogate, the couple welcomed their first son, Zachary Furnish John, in December 2010, and welcomed their second child, Elijah Joseph Daniel Furnish John, in January of 2013. 9 years after their civil ceremony on December 24th, 2014, the couple wed after laws allowing gay marriage took effect that same year in Britain. John was previously married to Rena Blau from 1984 to 1988. Quick facts. His name is John, birth year 1947, birth date March 25th, 1947, birth city Pioneer, Middlesex, birth country England, gender male, best known for. Elton John is a British singer, pianist, and composer, along with selling more than 300 million records. He has found success on Broadway, composing the music score for the Tony Award-winning hit Billy Elliot. Industries: art, television, rock, theater, and dance and film. Astrological sign is Aries. Schools: Royal Academy of Music in England. Interesting facts: Elton John holds a record for the second best-selling single of all time with Candle in the Wind, 1997, which he wrote to honor Marilyn Monroe and later performed as a tribute to his friend, the late Princess Diana. And then this is one of his quotes. Music has healing power. It has the ability to take people out of themselves for a few hours. And that's what we do on karaoke on the weekends, guys. All right, that's all on that one. All right. On it. Sorry, guys. Elton John biography. It says, born March 25th, 1947, Pioneer, Harlow, Middlesex, now London, England, UK. Sure, that's a lot to say. Reynold Kenneth Dwight was his birth name. Nicknamed Sharon, the Rocket Man, the Pinball Wizard. Height is 5 feet 7 3/4 inches, which is 1.72 m, whatever that means. This is his mini bio, guys. Sir Elton John is one of pop music's great survivors. Born 25th of March 1947 as Reynold Kenneth Dwight, he started to play the piano at an early age of 4. At age 11, he won a scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music. His first band was called Bluesology. He later auditioned unsuccessfully as lead singer for the progressive rock bands King Crimson and Gentle Giant. Welch teamed up with lyrics Bernie Taupin and changed his name to Elton John, merging the names of saxophonist Elton Dean and Long John Baldry. The duo wrote songs for Lulu and Roger Cook. In the early 1970s, he recorded the concept album Tumbleweed Connection. He became the most successful pop artist of the 1970s, and he has survived many different pop fads, including punk, the New Romantics, and Britpop, to remain one of Britain's most internationally acclaimed musicians. Elton John announced he was bisexual in 1976, and in 1984, he married Renette Ballou. The marriage lasted 4 years before he finally came to terms with the fact that he was actually homosexual. In the 1970s, 1980s, he suffered from drug and alcohol addiction and bulimia, but came through it. He is well known as a campaigner for the AIDS research, and he keeps his finger on the pulse of modern music, enjoying artists such as Eminem, Radiohead, Coldplay, and Robbie Williams. He was knighted in 1997. I think that's awesome. This is his family. David Furnish, they got married December 21st, 2005 to present. They got 2 children with a surrogate. Renate Blau, February 14th, 1984 to November 18th, 1988, they were divorced. Children: Zachary Jackson Levon Furnish John, Elijah Joseph Daniel John. Parents is Stanley Dwight and Sheila Dwight. All right, guys, this is where we get to the more extensive stuff. I like this website because it really does show a lot. It gives a lot of information. Okay, trademarks: his outrageous costumes and spectacles, the earrings on his right ear, the gap between his teeth, his rich falsetto voice, his hair transplant, which is often red, his energetic glasses. Most of his classic songs prominently feature the piano. His outspoken personality, which has often seen him in conflict with other celebrities. Use of all kinds of hats and caps in his music video to hide his hair loss. Absolutely, Rift. He's got a set of pipes, that's for damn sure. Okay, here's a trivia. Now, this is quite a bit of information, but it's good information. All right. In 1974, during one of his concerts at Madison Square Garden, John Lennon joined him on stage to perform 3 songs. This was part of a bet that if the Lennon song, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, went to number 1, he would join Elton on stage. This proved to be Lennon's last on-stage performance. Stevie Wonder played harmonica on his song. I guess that's why they call it the blues. He started wearing glasses to copy one of his idols, Buddy Holly. After a while, his eyes adjusted to the lenses, and he wore glasses ever since. He's a reformed drug addict, alcoholic, and bulimic. He also has epilepsy. He's the godfather of John Lennon's son, Sean Lennon, Elizabeth Hurley's son, Damien, and David Beckham and Victoria Beckham's son, Brooklyn and Romeo. He has played the piano since he was 4 years old. In 1992, he decided that all profits from his singles would be donated to the AIDS charities and formed the Elton John AIDS Foundation. The foundation has become one of the world's largest nonprofit AIDS organizations. His song "Empty Garden" is a tribute to John Lennon. He was a close friend with the late rock singer Freddie Mercury, and performed at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness in 1992. They were so close, John was one of the first people to be told by Mercury of his AIDS diagnosis in 1987, which was not announced to the public until the day before he died in November of 1991. His 1976 song, "Someone Saved My Life Tonight," was about a real live, unalive attempt. It happened when he was engaged to a woman. He was so severely conflicted with that commitment and his close homosexuality that he completed unaliving himself. Fortunately, he mentioned this to his friend, singer Long John Baldry, and he successfully persuaded Elton to break off the engagement and focus on his music instead. As such, Elton John found considerable success and personal fulfillment and expressed his deep appreciation to Baldry for carrying her by explicitly conveying his thanks by addressing Baldry in the song of his nickname, Sugar Bear. On the 5th of September 1997, he performed a new version of Candle in the Wind in a tribute to Princess Diana at her funeral, with new lyrics specially written by Bernie Taupin. The collaborative process between Elton and longtime lyrics Bernie Taupin is unique in that Bernie writes the song lyrics alone, presents them to Elton, who then proceeds to compose the music to the words alone. They never collaborate in the same space. When we wrote the smash hit "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" in 1976, they used a pseudonym, Ann Orson Elton, and Carty Blake Bernie. The godmother of his sons, Zachary and Elijah, is Lady Gaga. That's awesome. In 2017, poll conducted by Britain's ITV network, it was determined that the nation's favorite Elton composition was "Your Song" in 1970, with lyrics by Bernie Taupin. Elton claims to have completed the song in 15 minutes. He has at least one charted Billboard hit for every year from 1970 to 2009. Dusty Springfield sang backing vocals on his song "The Bitch Is Back." He collaborated with Kiki Dee at Karaoke Studios for a duet, "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," in 1976. "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" was also his first #1 single in the United Kingdom, topping the chart for 6 weeks in mid-1976. This also became his #6 single in the United States, topping the Billboard Hot for 4 weeks. His son, Zachary Jackson Levon Furnish John, with David Furnish, was born via surrogacy on December 25th, 2010. The identity of the biological mother is a secret. He owns over a thousand pairs of glasses. That I'm sure he does. I'm not really for sure if he does or not. I'm not really for sure, Rift. I don't want to say he does, and that, you know what I mean? I'm not really for sure, but I know that he has his own organization. So I'm not really for sure on that. We might come across, I'm not really for sure. Hey, Evie, good to see you, sweetheart. Hello, TZ. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. Elton's father, Stanley, had never in his life seen him perform, and his mother, Shella, had never met Elton's children, Zachary and Elijah, before her death in 2017. She apparently never liked his husband, David Furnish, either. In January 1987, he underwent laser surgery to remove nodules from his vocal cords in Australia. This followed a television concert with the Melbourne Sympathy Orchestra, in which his voice sounded noticeably rough. In 2004, he admitted this problem had been caused by smoking too many drugs, including marijuana. His hit "Song for a Guy" was a tribute to Guy Burchett, Rocket Records messenger, who was killed in a motorcycle accident. In 1976, he covered The Who's Pinball Wizard for the film Tommy in 1975. In the film, he is shown performance the song while playing a pinball machine integrated with a miniature piano keyboard. To date, in 2010, this is the only cover of Who's song to break the top 10 as a tongue-in-cheek revenge on Elton John Bernie Taupin tribute album, Two Rooms in 1991. The Who contributed a cover of the song Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, performed as if it were a Who composition. He lives in London, England, United Kingdom, Nice, Alps, Maritimes, France, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Los Angeles, California, USA, Venice, Ventio, Italy, and what he considers his main home is his Woodside, purchased in 1974 in Old Windsor, Berkshire, England, United Kingdom. He plays Yamaha concert grand pianos. Yamaha has also produced the Elton John Limited Edition Signature Series Red piano based on his Vegas show, The Red Piano. He sang a song with Tupac Shakur called Ghetto Gospel. I don't think I've ever heard that one. His longtime collaborator is lyricist Bernie Taupin. Elton's Golden Globe win for Best Original Song is I'm Gonna Love Me Again for Rocketman in 2019 is the first time he's ever won an award with writing partner Bernie Taupin, Beverly Hilton's Los Angeles, in January the 5th, 2020. His songs All the Girls Love Alice is a tribute to Alice Cooper. As March of 2006, he has 10 godchildren, including Sean Lennon, David Beckham, and Victoria Beckham, sons Brooklyn Pez Beckham and Romeo Beckham, Elizabeth Hurley's son David Hurley, and music executive Seymour Stein's daughter Mandy Stein. Being the technophobe he is, Elton does not even on his cell phone. He does, however, have an iPad that he uses to keep in touch with his children on FaceTime whenever he's away or on tour. He changed his name legally to Elton Hercules John. He chose the middle name Hercules not after the hero mythology, but after the horse named Hercules on the British sitcom Steptoe and Son, 1962. Wow, that's interesting. He gave his friend Rod Stewart the nickname Phyllis. He came up with the name Elton John from soft machine saxophone player Elton Dean and Long John Baldry. When he was still a session musician, Elton played piano on British The Hollies' 1969 smash hit He ain't heavy. He's my brother, for which he was paid whatever that means, E12 or whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. He met Dan Levy in the cast of Schitt's Creek in 2015 backstage at one of his shows in Italy in 2019. Dan had revealed to him that he had been named after his 1973 song Daniel. He covered the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds in 1974 for the film All This in World War II, 1976. John Lennon is featured in this recording, credited as Dr. Winston O. Boogie. In 1979, he was the first Western rock star to perform in Israel and the USSR. He is one of the few artists such as Madonna and Kylie Minogue. I'm probably saying these names wrong, guys. I'm trying. With number one hit in both 1980s, 1990s, and 2000. He was inducted into the American Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1992 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994. He won a Tony for the original musical score in 2000 alongside Tim Rice for their work on Ada. He was also nominated in the same category in 1999 for the musical version of The Lion King in 1994 alongside Tim Rice, Lee Bo-em, Mark Messina, Jay Rifkin, Julia Taymor, and Hans Zimmer. And in 2009, for the musical version of Billy Elliot 2000 alongside Lee Hall. He is close friends with David Beckham, Bill Connolly, and Billy Joel. In 2009, the Sunday Times Rich List estimated his net worth at $287 million. Wow. One of his guilty pleasures is shredding paper. He was estimated in 2006 to have sold 250 million albums during his career. He names the Beatles as the major musical inspiration and became friends with all the members of the band. He was awarded the CBE, Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1996, and awarded Knighthood of the British Empire in 1998. Queen's New Year's honor list for his services to music and fundraising for AIDS charities. In 2004, he was a recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors, along with Joan Sutherland, John Williams, Warren Beatty, Ozzie Davis, and Ruby Dee. He was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for recording at 6915 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California on October the 23rd, 1975. He was a guest at the Queen's Diamonds Jubilee concert. He registered a civil partnership with long-term partner David Furnish at Windsor Hall on December 21st, 2005, the first day that civil unions became same-sex persons became legal in England and Wales. The ceremony was performed by Registrar Claire Williams, who also presided over the union between King Charles III and Camilla Queen Consort. On the same day, in December of 2014, they upgraded their relationship to a marriage following the legalization of same-sex marriage earlier in the year. Their wedding was attended by the likes of Lulu Kate Bush, Gary Barlow, Ed Sheeran, David Beckham, David Williams, and Elizabeth Hurley. Both civil unions and marriage create spouses, which is why the civil union ceremony in 2005 is listed for the date of his marriage to David Furnish. At age 11, he won what was then teamed a junior scholarship, the junior reference having to do with age and not less the full tuition subsidy, and was admitted to the Royal Academy of Music, but quit just before graduation to pursue a rock career. He is co-owner of the chic Sunset Strip restaurant Le Dome in Hollywood. He covered the John Lennon song Give Peace a Chance on his 4-CD box set to be continued. In 2001, he declared that Songs from the West Coast would be his final studio album, and therefore he would concentrate on just live performances. In 2004, however, he released a new album, Peachtree Road, which, despite some favorable views, flopped in every country it was released in. He was voted the 49th greatest rock and roll artist of all time by the Rolling Stone magazine. In April of 2017, he contracted a bacterial infection after a South American tour and canceled all his Vegas performances through the next month due to his illness, which had forced him to be hospitalized. His song Philadelphia Freedom was a tribute to tennis star Billie Jean King. His husband, filmmaker David Furnish, made the documentary about Elton John Tantrums and Tiaras, 1997. In the Independent of Sunday 2006 Pink List, a list of most influential gay men and women, he came number 2, down from number 1. His fan of the American metal grunge band Alice in Chains and played the piano in the song Black Gives Way to Blue, a tribute to the band's late lead singer Lane Staley. The first concert that Staley attended was Elton John's gig when he was a child. Alice in Chains guitarist, vocalist Jenny Cantrell is also a fan of John and told that his first album was his greatest. He was awarded the CH Member of Companion and Honor in 2020, Queen's New Year's Honors List, for his services to music and charity in Berkshire, England. His parents, Stanley Dwight and Sheila Ellen Dwight Nee Harris, divorced when he was young. His mother then remarried Fred Fairbrother, whom Elton officially dubbed Durf. He attended a special dinner at the Sony Studios in Los Angeles to honor singer and activist Sting as Music Care's 2004 Person of the Year. The evening celebrated Sting's contribution, Lord have mercy, contribution to popular music, honored his charitable work with Amnesty International and the Rainforest Foundation. Other stars in attendance included Kylie Minogue and Dido. In 2004, he performed 75 shows at the Caesar Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, over the next 3 years. His show was called The Red Piano and was directed and created by photographer David LaChapelle. He stated once in the 70s that if he ever had a daughter, he would name her Umbrella. In 1999, he had a pacemaker fitted to correct an irregular heartbeat following an episode of angina on an airplane. He teamed up with lyrics Tim Rice on 4 projects: the songs for the films The Lion King 1994, The Road to El Dorado in 2000, and the Broadway stage productions of The Lion King and Ida. His album The Lion King 1994 sold 15 million copies in the United States. He has recorded duets with many other artists. His songs Act of War was a duet with Millie Jackson. He recorded a duet with Cliff Richard called Slow Riders, with Jennifer Rush called Flames of Paradise, with Aretha Franklin called Through the Storm, and with Eric Clapton called Runaway Train. He sang with Diane Warwick, Stevie Wonder, and Gladys Knight on the song That's What Friends Are For in 1994. He recorded his 1976 song or hit Don't Go Breaking My Heart, this time as a duet with RuPaul. He sang the duet Donner for Donner in French with singer France Gall. And in 1991, he had a UK #1 hit with his live duet with George Michael, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. They had previously performed their song together at the Live Aid in 1985. On 17th of January 1997, he performed a cover of the Queen song, The Show Must Go On, at the Théâtre National des Chalons in Paris for the gala opening night of I cannot pronounce that because it's all French, guys. A moving work inspired by the premature deaths of Freddie Mercury and the company's principal director or dancer, George Don. This version appears on Queen's third greatest hits compilation. He showed promise as a musician at the early age and started piano lessons at the age of 4. He revealed to the Evening Standard in 2016 that he fell out with David Bowie in the 1970s due to comments Bowie made about him to the Rolling Stone magazine. They were never close again after that. Nevertheless, John paid tribute to Bowie as the artist following his death and performed a live version of Space Oddity during one of his concerts. He won Broadway's Tony Award for the Best Musical, Billy Elliot, for which he composed the music, and Lee Hall wrote the book and the lyrics. He performed his first and only concert in Puerto Rico in Costello Jose Miguel Argerlot on April the 28th, 2007. He was parodied on Saturday Night Live 1975 by Horatio Sands. In 1995, in 1995 he was awarded the Polar Music Prize, the Royal Swedish Academy of Music Award. His song "You Can Make History Young Again" was a tribute to fashion designer Gianni Versace. In May 10th, 2010, merited a position in Times Magazine, the 100 most influential people in the world artist category, with an homage penned by Stephen Daughtry. A duet he sang with Kiki G and "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" and "True Love." When Stevie Winwood left the Spencer Davis to form Traffic, he auditioned to take Winwood's place. Unfortunately, he was turned down. In 2002, he was presented along with musical partner Bernie Taupin with the Music Industry Trust Awards for his outstanding contribution to the British music industry. Listening to his third album, Tumbleweed Connection, inspired Hugh Pogman to become a record producer. He would go on to become one of the most successful and award-winning producers of the 1980s and beyond, producing or co-producing many hits by The Police, Sting, Phil Collins, and Genesis, among others. John and Davis Furnish welcomed their second son, Elijah Joseph Daniel Furnish, John, on January 11th, 2003. Also via surrogacy from the same biological mother. The identity of the mother is a secret. He ranked number 17 on the VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Rock and Roll. His song "On the Dark Street" features backup vocals by Kiki D. In 2000, he was nominated for Lawrence Oliver Theater Award in 1999 season for Best New Musical for The Lion King and at the Lacombe Theater. He was lifelong friends with George Harrison. John made a cameo appearance on Harrison's "When We Was Fab," dropping a coin in the cup. He has twice been owner and chairman of the Watford Football Club, first purchasing the club in 1976 and selling it in 1987, but was asked to stay on as club president, which he did. John repurchased the club in 1997 from the person he sold it to 10 years earlier, again becoming chairman, although he has sold some of his shares since repurchasing the club in 1997 and is no longer club chairman. He remains club president and is still, as of 2021, a major shareholder, and also holds the title of chairman emeritus of Watford FC. John has been either club chairman, club president, or both continuously from his initial purchase of the club in 1976 until present day, which is in 2001. So this information is just a couple years old, guys. Get a sip of drink. Thank you guys so much for being in here. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much. All right. Let's see. It says he recorded the Christmas hit "Step Into Christmas" 1973 and "Coldest Christmas" in the middle of the year 1983. He sang a duet with Louis called "Live Like Horses." In 2017, Forbes magazine reported his earnings to be approximately $53 million for the year. He helped compose the single "I Don't Feel Like Dancing" with Scissors Sisters. His musical "Billy Elliot the Musical" at the Drury Lane production in Chicago, Illinois, was nominated for a 2015 Joseph Jefferson Equality Award for the Best Large Musical Production. He performed co-vocals on the song The Rumor by Olivia Newton-John, the title track from her album of the same name. He was Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. He raised $2.5 million for Hillary Clinton's U.S. presidential campaign with a concert at the New York's Radio City Music Hall. He covered the Kiki Dee song Sugar on the Floor. He auditioned for the lead vocalist spot in the band King Crimson, but was turned down. In 1991, he was the winner of the Brit Award and British Male Solo Artist. In 1995, he was the winner of Brit Award and Outstanding Contribution. Having previously won the award in 1986, he became the first person to win the award twice as a solo artist, a record which still stands in 2008. In 2004, he was the winner of Q Classic Songwriter Award. He counts American singer-songwriters Laura Nyro, Leon Russell, and David Ackles as major early influences on his career. Honored by a set of 12 commemorative postage stamps, including by Royal Mail, the British Post Offices, on September the 3rd, 2019, 8 non-denominated first-class stamps feature the picture of on the sleeve of one of its albums. The album cover features Our Honky Tonk Chateau, 1972, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, in 1973, Carbio, 1974, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, 1975, Sleeping with the Past, 1989, The One, 1992, Made in England, 1995, and Songs from the West Coast in 2000. Price on day of issue, each stamp was 70 pence. The 4 other stamps were issued on a single souvenir sheet and feature pictures from various concerts. 2 of the stamps are non-denominated. First class stamp 70 pence. The others are denominated, whatever that symbol is, 1.55. I wish somebody was English in here that could kind of understand what that meant, but I have no idea. The rate for letters to Europe weigh in up to 20 grams. The 4 concerts featured are the 1973 Christmas show at the Hammersmith Odeon, London, the 1975 concert at the Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, and the 2012 Diamond Jubilee concert at Buckingham Palace, London, and a 2018 concert at Madison Square Garden, New York City. Born at 2 a.m. GMT. His name is reverse of the name of the British shipholder and seaman John Elton. Hello, Digger Duck. It's good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well, darling. All right, guys. Now, these are his quotes. These are his quotes, guys. We're talking about Elton John, and these are his quotes. It says, I haven't made a good album in a long while. Not since 1976 in the Blue Moves. If there's a better singer in England than Craig David, then I'm Margaret. If there's a better singer in England than Craig David, then I'm Margaret Thatcher. After being asked about his sexuality in the 1970s, I think people should be free to engage in any sexual practices they choose. They should draw the line at goats, though. Nowadays, record companies want the quick buck from the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, S7 Club, or S Club 7 Steps. They always been around. I'm not knocking the music, perhaps, but it's like packets of cereal. There's too many of them. Too many of them are just metaphor. And I think that it damages real people's chance, real talent, and getting airplay. It's just fodder. There's so much you expected to do, and you followed a pattern. You make a record. You do a video. I like to break the rules a little bit more, and I did in the 1970s. I should try a little bit more now. On Madonna, anyone who lip sings in public stage when you're paying whatever the England, I don't know what that means, but something 75 to see them should be shot. That's me off for Christmas card list. But do I give a toss? No. After breaking his fingernails by playing so hard, if I had one finger left, I'd play it for you. On Live 8 in 2005, I thought it was a bit of an anticlimax, to be honest. I thought behind it was fantastic, but Hyde Park is charisma-free zone. There was no sense of occasion, and from a musical point, I didn't think that there were too many highlights. I was very pleased to be part of it, but I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as the first one, Live Aid in 1985. How could it be? On his unsuccessful album Peachtree Road in 2004, it is probably one of the lowest selling albums of all time. It was disappointing everywhere in the world, so I've had to hold my hands up and accept that the songs just didn't connect. I'm proud of Peachtree, but if I didn't think about it logically, people have 10 or 12 Elton John albums in their collection already. Do we need another one? I had a hell of a time last year, 2004, and this is the end of it. I haven't spoken to Madonna since. She's been in cabal meetings ever since. I don't think I'll ever be forgiven for that one. Then I had the George Michael thing and the Victoria Beckham thing. I will keep my mouth shut now. I'm performing at the Coliseum in 2005. I love places that have incredible history. I love the Italian way of life. I love the food. I love the people. I love the attitude of the Italians. On his marriage to Renee blog, I regret it to this day because I was not honest with Renee. I married her while I knew my truth was different. I found her a beautiful woman. She could have ruined me financially, but she hasn't done that. That's why I call a true friendship. Yeah, I guess it's pounds, but whatever that little symbol is. Whatever that little symbol is, TZ. I've always wanted to smash a guitar over someone's head. You can't do that with a piano. The great thing about rock and roll is that someone like me can be a star. My voice has gotten deeper, and it's all down to when I was living in Australia. I could speak and only barely sing. Deep down, I knew something was chronically wrong with my voice. It was polyps. The first thing the doctor told me, "You smoke a lot of dope, don't you?" I gasped and said, "How do you know?" The doctor said, "I can tell by the way you're talking. If you're a singer, the worst thing you can do is smoke dope." When he did the operation in Australia and it lowered the timbre of my voice, it's deeper and has more renaissance, and it's stronger. I used to be a piano player who's saying now I'm a singer who plays the piano. November 2004. I never lived in a time so vexing. I just want to scream. It's a nightmare. George W. Bush and his administration are the worst things that ever happened to America. I'm just as angry as Tony Blair. You lied to us, Tony. It was like these idiots that think they can get away with anything. I voted for Tony. He's basically a nice guy. What happened? It's because power does that thing to you, that you isolate yourself, and it enrages me that people can just smirk their way through it. This is on politics. If I was what I say I am, I'd be a labor man. I like Tony Blair a lot. I think he's a good man. And in America, I'd definitely be a Democrat. I'd never be a Republican. One government all the time isn't great for a country. I think it's very hard to be in power for a long time. I think if you lose touch, and David Cameron, get break. Let's see, can bring a strong opposition to the Labor Party, then I think it's healthy and I'm all for it. Every artist who makes it go through a period where it seems they're invincible. We've seen it all with Phil Collins, Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, and Prince. It just seems like they can't fail. And then suddenly everything levels off. I knew it when it started happening to me. I was really tired. I knew I was peaking. I knew it was time for someone else to take over. You have to be realistic about these things. I want to bring my songs and melodies to hip hop beats. It may be a disaster. It could be fantastic, but you don't know until you try. I love that saying. I dodged so many bullets, not just because of my unsafe sex, but because of the amount of drugs I did, the amount of alcohol, the amount of work I was doing. I started the Elton John AIDS Foundation because I got so lucky. Says, I think religion has always tried to turn hatred towards gay people. Religion promotes the hatred and spite against gays. But there are so many people I know who are gay and love their religion. From my point of view, I would ban religion completely. Organized religion doesn't seem to work. It turns people into really hateful lemmings, and it's not really compassionate. The world is near escalating to World War III, and where are the leaders of each religion? Why aren't they having a conclave? Why aren't they coming together? I said this after 9/11, and people thought I was nuts. Instead of more violence, why isn't there a meeting of religious leaders? It's like a peace movement in the 60s. Musicians got through to people by getting out there and doing peace concerts. But but we don't seem to do anymore. If John Lennon were alive today, he'd be leading it with vengeance. They seem to do their protesting online, and that's not good enough. You have to get out there and be seen to be vocal, and you've got to do it time and time again. There was a big march in London when Britain decided to join the war against Iraq, and Tony Blair is on the record as saying the people who march today will have blood on their hands. That's returned to bite him on the ass. People come to me, and I a bit like the Queen Mother. I never get those problems. I don't know what it is with me. People treat me very reverently. It is the same with Dave and I had our civil union. I was expecting the odd flower bomb, and there wasn't. Dave and I have seen this couple to be acceptable faces of gayness, and that's great. I'm going to fight for them, whether I do it silently behind the scenes or so vocally that I get locked up. I can't just sit back. It's none of my nature anymore. I'm nearly 60 years old after all. I can't sit back and blindly ignore, and I won't. On Dusty Springfield, hers was the first fan club I belonged to. I had pictures of Dusty all over my walls. I have no one to leave money to. I'm a single man. I like spending my money. After this was revealed, and he had spent 293,000, whatever, I guess pounds, on flowers in less than 2 years. Yes, I like flowers. 2007, in the early 70s, there was at least 10 albums released every week that were fantastic. Now, you're lucky to find 10 albums in the year of the quality. And there are more albums released each week now than there were 10. Or than there were then, I'm sorry. I'm such a luddite when it comes to making music. All I can do is write at the piano. The internet has stopped people from going out and being with each other, creating stuff. Instead, they sit home and make their own records, which is sometimes okay, but it doesn't bode well for the long-term artistic vision. It just means to an end. We're talking about things that are going to change the world and change the way people listen to music. And that's not going to happen with people blogging on the internet. I mean, get out there, communicate. Hopefully the next movement in music will tear down the internet. Let's get out in the streets, march, protest, instead of sitting at home and blogging. I don't think it would be an incredible experience to shut down the whole internet for 5 years and see what sort of art is produced over that span. There's too much technology available. I'm sure as far as music goes, it would be much more interesting than it is today. I didn't have sex until I was 23, and that was with a man. I made up for lost time after that in a hurry. I wish I could have had sex when I was like 14, 15, or 16 because that was such an exciting age to have sex. Wow. There's a lot of liberance in me as a gay artist and such. I'm openly gay man. A lot of my audience is the same kind of audience that liberates what have had, and they didn't seem to give a shit. I think that is so great. On Hillary Clinton, there's no one more qualified to leave America. I'm amazed by the Masonic attitudes of some people in this country, and I say to hell with them. I love you, Hillary. I'll be there for you. Some people don't get hyped enough. People like David Eccles, who could well be hyped as much as I've been. But once you're successful, they're going to try to get as much hype going as possible. The X Factor UK, which is in 2004, is a cruise ship show. I got nothing against the people who go on it. Good luck to them. But I hate how they're treated. They're given an awful sense of stardom and pressure straight away that they're only successful until the next series. The record companies sell a lot of records, and those people are gone. It's cruel. Will Young is the best thing that's ever come out of these shows. He has proved himself, but it's no way to find talent. I want to hear new songwriters, people, and who are creating their own stuff, not just singing my songs every week. I tried to commit unaliving one day. It was a very woody Ellen type unalive. I turned on the gas and left all the windows open. An overview of my career is usually glasses, homosexuality, what for football club, tantrums, flowers, but the music was pretty phenomenal, you know. It says fame attracts lunatics. Princess Diana, Gianni, Versace, John Lennon, Michael Jackson, all dead. 2 of them shot outside their homes. None of This would have happened if they hadn't been famous. I never had a bodyguard ever until Ganali died. Look, I'm 63. I don't want to be on VH1 or MTV. I'm not going to compete with JLS, Jack the Lord Swing, or Lady Gaga. I'm at that stage where I don't think I can write pop music anymore. I could sit down and do a proper rock song. It was okay when I was 25 or 26, but not anymore. I like to do my own little side projects like Sisters and I have fun. But I don't think Elton John will be putting any pop singles out. Hello, Kenzie. Good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well. On the Beatles, they influenced me from the songwriting point of my view. John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. There's no question of it. No one would ever equal the amount of songs they wrote. Forget Richard Rogers and Hammerstein, Oscar Hammerstein II. People will probably say, "Well, come on," but for the amount of songs they wrote, those two people were the finest songwriters of the century by far. Everyone makes all the money off the X Factor UK and sells the records, but it's the cart before the horse. What's the psychological damage going to be when you've humped and dumped and the next thing comes along? They're a bit like products, to be honest with you. They're products, and the records come out Christmas, and it always number one. And then what happens next year? Why aren't they toured? Who's managing these people? On Born This Way by Lady Gaga, I had the privilege to hear it, and she played it to me last year. It's phenomenal, and it will be absolutely huge. You can't stop her. She's a freight train. She's a great writer and a great performer. I'm Rod Stewart, bar none. Rod's the best singer I've heard in rock and roll. All right, guys, there's a few more. Make sure you got hit that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being in here. Let me get a sip of drink, guys. Hey, Mission, good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Still praying for you and your family, and I hope that you had a fairly good Father's Day. It says, on the death of Donna Summer, I'm so sad. The woman was queen of disco and so much more. Her records sound as good as today as they ever did. That she had never been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a total disgrace, especially when I see the second-rate talent that had been inducted. She's a great friend to me and to the Elton John's AIDS Foundation, and I will miss her greatly. 2012, by all rights, I shouldn't be here. I should be dead, 6 feet under, in a wooden box. I should have contracted HIV in the 80s and died in the 90s, just like Fred Mercury, Rock Hudson, and many friends and loved ones. I'm Fred Mercury, one of my very closest friends, a man who I love dearly, and a man who was loved by millions of people around the world. Freddie told me he had AIDS soon after he was diagnosed in 1987. I was devastated. I seen what the disease had done to so many of my other friends. I knew exactly what it was going to do to Freddie. And did he? He knew death, agonizing death, was coming. But Freddie was incredibly courageous. He kept up appearances, kept performing with Queen, and he kept being the funny, outrageous, and profoundly generous person he has always been. On How Deep Is Your Love by the Gee the Bee Gees, Lord, I can't even talk. It is a great kick to see the song stay silent for a while, and then the new generation of people pick up on it and think it's great. That happened with the Take That cover, and what happened to the Bee Gees again and again. They have written some of the greatest pop songs ever. There was no question I was going to change or I was going to die, and I desperately wanted to change. I remember many days I would sit alone in my room, drinking, using, binging, listening to Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush sing Don't Give Up over and over, weeping at the chorus. I was falling further down to rabbit hole and every gram of cocaine, but I couldn't, or I wouldn't ask for help. Many people in my life suffered through my age, my denial, my refusal to listen. I was an asshole, and I knew I had a problem. I'm not a fan of talent shows. I probably would have lasted if I'd gone to one. I was asked to judge American Idol in 2002. I couldn't do it because I won't slag anyone off. Also, I don't want to be on the television. It became boring, arse paralyzing, brain crippling. I like Simon Cowell, but what he does is television entertainment. There's been some good acts, but the only way to sustain a career is to pay your dues in small shit clubs. It is very hard to be a frontman. I mean, there's not many you can think of that actually pulled it off. You can think of Mick Jagger, you can think of Roger Daltrey, and then you can think of Fred Mercury. Queen were one of the best bands that come out in the 70s, and so were its, and that's were so innovative. I mean, when you look down at videos today, Queen started off videos early. They were the people who had all the ideas to begin with. The historic fight for equality must go on. Let's get on and legalize same-sex marriage. I know a lot of people will say we shouldn't count ourselves lucky to live in a country that allows civil partnerships and call it quits there. I don't accept that. There is a world of difference between calling someone your partner and calling them your husband. Partner is a word that should be preserved for people you play tennis with or work alongside in a business. We should show that we are country committed to the sacred institution of marriage, proud of our tolerant heritage, and brave enough to let lovers like David and I call each other husband. Oh my goodness, guys. It said on the album The Diamond Board 2013, its first album, I've done it with a piano, bass, and drums as the template for the rhythm section. We started with the three of us, and then we added stuff after we finished, but we wrote and recorded everything with just the three people. That's how it started off, but I never really made a record like it. I went out to lunch with T-Bone, and he said, I want you to go back to piano, bass, and drums. It would really simple. I want the piano to be the forefront of the album. And so it seemed to have worked. I've never been so relaxed in the studio. I'm playing really relaxed. And when you got two instruments battling against you, it's not the same as having 7 or 8. I made 36 or 37 albums, and I would never have thought of that. And it's just so obvious to do. The BBC Theater is so small and compact. I love playing those kind of venues because you can actually see the audience and touch them practically. Because I've always been lucky at having great producers. I had Gus Dungeon and Chris Thomas and a couple of other people. No point in having a producer unless they tell you what they think. And T-Bone Burnett, is a great guitarist, and he can see and hear something that you can't. We focus so much on celebrity in our culture, and we don't focus on the right things. I hate the celebrity that's around now, the vicious, talented horror shows that get paid millions of dollars for nothing. I think Jesus was a compassionate, super intelligent gay man who understood human problems. Freddie Mercury could outparty me, which is saying something. We'd be up for nights sitting there at 11 in the morning, still flying high. On Live Aid in 1985, The Wonderful Me, it was a wonderful day, and it's all thanks to Bob Gelfer. On Live Aid in 1985, I just got a helicopter from my house in Windsor, not being grand or anything like that, because I thought the fucking traffic would be a nightmare. Arm Rush's law banning the promotion of homosexuality is Tekani's beautiful music sexually perverting. On David Bowie, we all know how he inspired us. All know that how his music stands. You don't have to say anything about the music. It speaks for itself. He was innovative. He was boundary changing and the dance to his own tune, which in any artist is really rare. If he kept his illness private in the age we're living in the Twitter, when everyone else knows everything about everything. He kept it to himself. He made 2 albums without anybody knowing he was making them. And that is the mystique of a man, because we know David Bowie, the figure, the singer, the outrageous performer, but actually we don't know anything about him. And that's why that is the way it should be in music and should be in any form of whatsoever. on the American genocide. As an organization, Elton John AIDS Foundation, one of our motives is that no one gets left behind. The Promise 2016 is about people who get left behind and deny their rightful place in history 2017. There's so much good music out there, much better than all the pop shit they play on the radio. I never liked the show, like shows the X Factors UK 2004. I'm glad they are on their way out. On the collaboration with Alice in Change in the song Black Gives to Blue, Entertainment Weekly, October the 1st, 2009. I was kind of surprised that Alice in Change would ask me to do anything. I never thought I would play an Alice Change record. When I heard the song, I really, really wanted to do it. I liked the fact that it was beautiful and very simple. They had a great idea of what they want me to do on it, and it turned out great. I don't really want my music to be involved in anything to do with American election campaigns. I'm British. I met Donald Trump. He was very nice to me. Nothing personal. His political views are his own. Mine are different. I'm not a Republican in a million years. Why did you ask Ted fucking Nugent? Or one of those fucking country stars. They'll do it for you. There are a lot of songs in the charts I can't sing. It's just a beat. I did a duet with Kate Bush on this track for last album. The session with her was hard because she doesn't write any easy song. She was a complex songwriter, and this is a weird song. I love it so much. I'm proud of the Kate Bush record. She's always marched to the beat of her own drum. She was groundbreaking, a bit like an female equivalent of Freddie Mercury. She does come out socially sometimes, and she comes to my civil partnerships occasion with her husband. There were so many stars in the room, but all the musicians there were only interested in saying, you got to introduce us to Kate Bush. I remember Boy George saying, oh my God, is that Kate Bush? I said, all right, guys. I know that's a lot of information to cover, but hold on a second. Okay. There we go. This one is about Elton John's addiction. Please put a 1 in chat if you guys are still here, can still hear me, and are enjoying the information I am providing. And if anybody would like to donate to my stream, it is scrolling at the bottom of my page. I have Cash App and PayPal. You don't have to, but it'd be much appreciated. It means a lot. All right. This is from Psychology Today, which I always try to get some useful information from it. This one's not really long. And then I have one more that's not really long either. Those two main biography ones are the ones that are the longest because it has the most information. Says Elton John, addiction. Elton John survived and recovered due to purpose and meaning. Rocky Man makes Elton John a poster boy for rehab and sobriety, but the facts that John tell a different story, one of the meanings and purpose. The film begins with John's departing Madison Square Garden in costume to participate in group session as a uric rehab. As he simply sheds his outrageous outfit, John reveals his traumatic past and various addictions, including alcohol, cocaine, pills, and sex. At the end of the film, he announces that he has now been sober for 25 plus years and married and has 2 young children. So never tries again. But the film never engages in 12 steps, only the rehab setting and self-exploration process John underwent. In a joint New York Times interview, John and lyricist Bernie Taupin, his lifelong musical partner, discussed John's rehab experiences. Neither mentioned the 12 steps, powerlessness or powerfulness or disease. For Taupin, John's rehab was a work cure. That scene in the film when I just visit him in rehab and he's mopping the floor. I remember how much he enjoyed doing his own laundry, mopping the floor, scrubbing the toilet. Once he was in that situation, he adhered to 100% and he totally embraced it. The film traces John's loveless upbringing. Neither parent nurtured or savingly loved him. Much of John's adult happiness is linked to relationship with John Reed, his early manager and boyfriend, and portrayed as a sly manipulator. On the other hand, Rocketman depicts John's live-in grandmother as doting on him. His stepfather was likewise supportive, so John didn't face the life devoid of others or of the care of other and love of others. As the film portrays John's half-century caring relationship with his writing partner Toppin, a joint interview is pinned to the relationship. The bulk of the film addresses John's family relationship and search for love, which while he comes to grips in rehab, but he doesn't attribute recovery to that therapy. I think the film eventually is about redemption and how anyone can get redemption if they try. Absolutely, I believe in that. John has also praised and supported Joanna Harris' 2015 bestseller, Chasing the Scream, which opposes the disease theory of addiction. Harry places the need for love and community and their absence at the heart of addiction. Although Rocketman focuses squarely on his past, John downplays the need to do this. I very rarely look back in my life, although, of course, I had to watch this movie. His and Toppin's joint interviews begin. Elton John is not a nostalgist. Neither is Toppin. I think one of the keys that have driven to us all these years is the fact that we never look back, Toppin said. John likewise cuts two ways about the role of his high energy, constantly engaged lifestyle. I was on adrenaline, and sooner or later you'll crash and burn. And unfortunately, the drugs helped me crash and burn. Reviews naturally focus on the addictive rock star John, who the film showed were reduced to lonely, paranoid, angry junkie. But real life, John completed rehab in 1990 when he was in his 40s. Notice he doesn't mention rehab at all. Critically, John had adopted a new life purpose, music, his passion, and Underhill, his survivor until then. That's what kept me alive during the hard times. I still kept myself busy. I didn't shut myself away and just do drugs. You can say that initially. Music saved me. The most incredible part of my childhood is the music. And then when I came to the difficult part of fame, the music still saved me because I still worked and I still made records. And if I hadn't, I wouldn't be speaking to you here today. Says at Times says at 72, John remains artistically engaged in the midst of a farewell tour and still composing for films of theater. As such, John embodies research showing the purpose determines not only recovery but longevity. John has built and rebuilt his life around purpose, working through difficult life issues and settled into a lifestyle with which he is comfortable and that he finds satisfying. He doesn't give rote testimony about his inescapable traumatic past. I am powerless recovery process, or I am forever an addict to identify. And I have one more, guys. All right, this is True Healing, Addiction, and Mental Health Treatment. Says the musician Elton John has been sober since 1990. At the beginning of his career, John dealt with multiple addictions to drugs, sex, and shopping, as well as bulimia and anger management issues. There were times I was having bad chest pains or staying up for 3 days at a time. He said, I used to have spasm. I fell on the floor and they put me back to bed. Half hour later, I'd be doing the same thing. It's crazy. He said that if they hadn't asked for help 3 decades ago, he would be dead. But John did eventually ask for help, which led over 30 years of sobriety. My soul was black like a charred piece of steak until I said I need help. He and society and a little pilot light in my soul came along going, yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. I can be rescued. When John first got sober, he took a year off of work to focus solely on recovery. Now he calls this the best decision he's ever made. During that year, he sometimes attended 5 Alcoholic Anonymous AA or Narcotics Anonymous NA meetings a day. He was determined to apply everything he learned in treatment and the program to his recovery. When he did not start touring again, he continued to make attending meetings a priority. Whenever I went to work, I found a meeting to attend, John said. That's not as hard as it might sound. Even if I didn't speak the language, I still attend meetings abroad. Those meetings kept me grounded. This program gave me a structure for living so that I could go on stage every night and do my job well and actually enjoy it. John calls his life these days wonderful, but he has had to work hard to get here. I'm a survivor, he said. I've survived a lot of things. Life is full of pitfalls. Even when you're sober, I can deal with them now because I don't have to run away and hide. And that's it, guys. Make sure. Yep. So what do y'all think about what I went over? I think it's pretty interesting. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you guys so much. It truly, truly, truly means a lot. Is people still there? Don't see nobody in chat. Anybody still there, guys? Well, I think, in my personal opinion, I think he's an excellent person. He's doing a lot of good in his life. He's got married. He's got 2 children of his own to take care of, and he's a well successful man. And he seems like he does live a positive life. He really does. He seems like he lives a positive life. Thank you so much, Kenzie. Thank you, sweetheart. Let me see. Thank you, Evie. Thank you, darling. Yeah, my allergies are giving me a fit tonight, guys, so just bear with me. Yeah, I think it's pretty amazing. I really do. It is very interesting. You find out all kinds of stuff. I didn't know any of that stuff about him, other than he was a music singer, and I heard he was gay, but I wasn't really for sure if he was. It is very interesting. It surely is. That was a lot of information that we went over about Sir Elton John. Yeah, I'm getting ready to jump off here in a minute. I just wanted to definitely go over what y'all voted for, and the people that voted, I don't even see them in here, other than a few. But still, I appreciate you guys being in here with me. It truly means a lot. It truly does. I think it's our time next weekend, Hippie. That Baby Shark duet. Yes. Well, Hippie Grandma, she got tore up from the floor up a couple days ago. So maybe she can get a couple cocktails in her and she'll be able to sing that song. You'll have to find the song and the karaoke version of it, Evie. Oh my goodness. But I really truly do think that Elton John is making some motivational and encouraging decisions. He's doing a lot for the community. He still continues to do. And like I said, he has a family to take care of. He's got 2 beautiful babies. He's got a husband. And he still does. I don't know if he still does things for the Queen since she's no longer here. I have no idea. I guess when you're knighted, you just stay a knight. I'm not really for sure how that works. But yes, it seemed like he had he had several accomplishments, couple downfalls, but he made his best of it. That's a positive change, guys. And he did suffer a little bit with addiction to drugs and alcohol, and then he had bulimia. Elton helped several charities come out of the closet, or celebrities. I'm sorry, my eyes are really bothering me, guys. The awesome. Be who you want to be. Be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. I'm 100% supportive. Just 100% supportive of be who you want to be with. Love who you want to be with. Whatever makes you happy. And the old saying goes, love is love. And I strongly believe that. I think everybody deserves love, whether it's, you're male, or you're bisexual, or you're straight, or whatever. I think it's, I have a different point of view on it. But, I think it's extremely important to be happy in your life. That's a positivity. I think it's extremely important to do that. Extremely important to be yourself, be your unique self, and, just love who you want to love. And and as long as you're happy, I'm happy for you. And like I said, love is love. He also, close to Eminem, he helped him get sober. That's amazing. That's amazing. I would go over more, but there's so much information about him. So I was like, I'm just going to take the general biographies like I normally do. That is awesome. That is so awesome. And I didn't know that he put the dude that passed away from Queen. I'm bad on names, guys. I know I just read his name, but I didn't realize that he had that. And he was in his organization or charity. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. The singer from Prince. I had no idea. Crazy. It's crazy. You learn a lot from you learn a lot. I've learned a boatload. Have y'all learned quite a bit? Things that y'all didn't even know? I hope so. I mean, he's a great example. I think he's a you could tell he's like a very much an encourager, a motivational like person. And he seems like that he has a positive attitude and he don't take no crap. I think that's amazing. That's a good example, and he's well known. He's very famous, he's an amazing singer, very talented. And I just 100% support what he's doing, to the charities, to love is love, being himself, having his boys, his whole life. It seems like an inspiration. I mean, nobody's perfect and everybody has their flaws, everybody. It don't matter if you're a millionaire and it says millionaire. It doesn't matter. You're still human and you're still going to have your flaws. That's what makes us not perfect. That's what makes us human, So I think it's amazing. He has an amazing story. Like I said, there was so much information out there about him, but I was just kind of picking out the ones that we typically cover in here. So yeah, it was great to get to know him a little bit better. Yeah, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, that's who it was. George Michael's one too. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Yeah, he don't seem like he does. He just says that, he's just taking care of his boys and his husband. He don't seem like that. Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I mean, I support everybody. When I say I support everybody, I really do support everybody. So I mean, I think he has a great story. And it just goes to show like he said that he had a little bit of bashing, I guess you could say, when he came out, but then he made a big difference in people's lives. You know, he made huge difference in all our lives by his music, and then to get to know him more is really cool. It's really cool. Yeah, that's true, Evie. She said, I wish he and his husband would have had kids earlier in life. Absolutely. But like he said, he was married to a woman, and at that time he was bisexual, and then he realized he didn't want to hurt her anymore, and he realized that he really was gay. But like I said, I support everybody. I support everybody. So it doesn't matter. You're good to me, I'm good to you. I support everybody, you know. You're fine, Ripped. You're good. You're good, brother. I was raised in church all my life, so I know exactly what you're saying. But I'm just, when I say support each other, I support everybody. They don't have to, they do you, do you. That's how I look at it. Be happy with who you are, you know. So, I mean, that's just, that's just, we can't judge nobody, which I'm not saying y'all are. I'm just saying, some people do, and it's terrible. And it's terrible because, these are human beings and they have feelings just like we do. Just because they love different than we do doesn't mean anything, you know. So I just think he's an inspirational person through his music, through his stories, through the organizations that he's in. He actually got knighted by the queen that passed away. God rest her soul. I think that's amazing. He's got a great story. A great story. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's just how I look at it, guys. I'm supportive of everybody. You're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Like we've talked about before. Just like Rebel says, because he's like you, Rift. Just don't throw it at me. He says I respect and love everybody. Just don't throw it at me. You know, it don't bother me none. It don't bother me none. You know, I'm just happy for him. You know, we can agree to disagree and still be happy for each other. You know, just try to be as supportive as you possibly can. You know, his mentorship. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, we've learned a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And he's got so many awards for the things that he's accomplished. Oh my goodness. So many awards. That's amazing. That's amazing. Not everybody can say that, you know. And he owns a lot of houses. It looks like, or he's lived a bunch of places. And he's originally from UK or England. So I just think it's an interesting story. It's and and it gives people hope if by chance they are suffering with certain things, as in coming out or addiction or mental health, or he suffered with bulimia, he suffered with alcoholism, just stuff like that. I think he's got a great story to tell, an inspirational story to tell. And he started playing the piano at 4 years old. Not everybody could say that. Playing the piano at 4 years old. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't even know anything about that. That's crazy. Yes. That's so cool. And then he has certain people that are his best friends. And then he has 10 godchildren and then 2 sons of his own. I think that's cool. And then I always thought that was his real name. Nope. I really thought that that was his real name, and that, like some movie stars, though, they won't say their full name, but they'll pick some kind of name that goes towards their name. Like his name's Elton John, like maybe Jonathan Elton or something like that. But that wasn't even his name, his birth name. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? That was actually, I thought that was his real name. Well, it is now, but I mean, I'm talking about his birth name. I had no idea that was his birth name. No clue. And I can kind of relate to him in a way because I'm not close at all to my sperm donor. And my parents divorced when I was 18 years old because, which my sperm donor was cheating on my mom before I turned 18, but he said that he did not want to, because my mom said, you'll pay child support for me because I was a baby and the only girl. And I was the only one that was underage at that time when they divorced. So I felt like it was my fault for a long time. Now I realize that it wasn't. But my parents didn't divorce until I was 18 years old because my sperm donor didn't want to support me. So what kind of piece of crap supposedly father is that, in my opinion? So, I mean, I can relate to him because he said wasn't really close to his dad, you know. No, his name was not Elton John. That was not his name. Hold on, Kenzie, and I'll tell you. I can't think of it right offhand. Give me just a second. That was not his birth name. Let me see. Give me just a minute, honey, and I'll find it. Here's his birth name. I will share it. This is his birth name. Right here. Reynold Kenneth DeWatt was his birth name. You're okay, Kenzie, honey. Yes, this is his birth name right here. Reginald Kenneth DeWatt. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. And then he changed his name. Hold on, I know I went over it, but I was going to tell you guys. Let me see. Let me glance real fast, guys. Hold on just a second. I don't want to tell you I'm wrong. Give me just a minute, guys. Let's see. He said he came up with the name Elton John from soft machine saxophone player Elton Dean and Long John Baldry. Let me see when he changed his name. Yes. He changed his name legally to Elton Hercules John. He chose the middle name Hercules not after the hero of mythology, but after the horse named Hercules on the British sitcom Steptoe and Son 1962. So I don't know what year he changed his let me see. Let me get that. Let me see if I can find the information. But yeah. Let me see. Let's see. Elton John changed his name in 1972. He legally changed his name in 1972. Yeah. Yeah. So he legally changed his name to Elton Hercules John in 1972. So that is his legal name. Thank you so much, Digger Duck. I love you, honey. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. Yes. But when I say, I support everybody, I truly do. And things don't bother me. Yes, I love you guys. Yeah, I'm getting ready to jump off here. Tomorrow is Labor Day, and the kiddos don't have no school, and I probably have to work, and Rebel probably has to work. So, but I'm just kind of saying my point of view. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion on certain things. We agree to disagree, and we're still family at the end of the day. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. As the old saying goes, everybody opinions are like elbows or assholes. Everybody has one. So, that's just my opinion. You know. Yes. Oh man, you got to work tomorrow, Rift, on Labor Day. Oh man, that sucks. I do too. I DoorDash, but yeah, unfortunately, and I think Rebel does too. So, but yeah. Yes, but thank you guys so much for coming in here. It means a lot to me. I do not have next week's live set up yet, but I will. And then tomorrow night, on our live tomorrow night, we will pick another topic for next Sunday. I don't know who we're gonna pick, but it's gonna be 3 or 4 names, and y'all go in there and vote. Y'all gave me the names, I get the information, and then y'all pick who we're gonna talk about next. So I just want you guys to be involved as well. So I always say this before I go. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. If y'all are watching the replay, please leave a comment and leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe, hit the share. I love reading the comments. So please, if you're watching the replay, please leave a comment. I love them, and I reply to each and every one of them. I really, truly do. It makes my day, makes my day to be here with you beautiful people. And it also makes my day to wake up in the mornings and see some comments. So, but I love you guys, and y'all have a wonderful night. And I'm going to say this before I go. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they've went through in their life. I mean, look at Elton John's life. He's a millionaire, but he's still, he still had up and down, up and down, up and down. Everybody goes through it. So you don't know what people are going through in their life. You don't know what they've been through in their life. You don't know what they're currently going through in their life. So just please be kind to one another. Be a difference in somebody's life. Be supportive of one another. Even if you don't agree with them, just be supportive of them, because we are still human, guys. And we still have feelings. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Virtual hugs. And I always say this too. I'm with animals. I always say this too. Words can possibly be forgiven once they're said, but they'll never be forgotten once they're said. So, just be kind to one another, and don't be no better than nobody else, but be a better person than you was yesterday. Make a difference in somebody's life. Smile to somebody. Say hello. Just be kind. It doesn't cost nothing to be kind to one another. Y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And happy early Labor Day, everybody. Happy early Labor Day. And I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what it's about, but I'll have them all set up for the whole week. I always do that every Monday. So y'all will find out tomorrow. It's going to be a topic. I don't know what, but it'll be a topic on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday's open panel. Thursday's mine and Rebels. Friday and Saturday is the karaoke. And then Sunday is whatever topic that you guys vote on tomorrow. So that's what we do every week. And so, because some people said, for a long time, Becca, you should go live more. Well, now that I'm going live more, come on, guys. Y'all are all welcome. Y'all wanted me to go live more. I'm going live more. So come on in here. I welcome everybody. So come on in here, guys. The more the merrier. And I want to see, like I said when I first started this stream, we want to be, I want us to be a difference in this world that we live in. Be a change. See the numbers skyrocket. And a lot of you guys have told me that there's not no stream like mine, which I'm not. It's not about me. I'm not like other streamers. It's not about me. It's about all you beautiful people. I couldn't do this without you guys. So, just please share, let people know, invite people over. Everybody needs a little bit of positivity, motivation, and encouragement in their lives. And then support and awareness who don't need that. So I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. And I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Virtual hugs. Love y'all. Peace. See ya. Thank you guys again. See ya.